Hello and welcome back to another audio exclusive. My name is Emily Rodriguez and this is my podcast, Voz y Vida. MVP. What does that mean to you? Because when I thought of MVP, I thought the most valuable player. But after listening to a podcast featuring Robin Sharma, he beautifully reworded this acronym for me that I can remember and apply to the starts of my day. The way he thinks of MVP is meditation, visualization, and prayer. Now, he is the author of the 5 a.m. Club, so waking up early in the morning and having a routine that focuses on your inner self before you think of anything external, you think of doing anything, you think of getting up. So for me, I have been waking up at 5 a.m. prior to even knowing about the 5 a.m. club, just because I'm a mother. So obviously I have to take my daughter to school and I like to spend a lot of time with myself. I love spending time with myself. So anytime I can squeeze in to be with myself prior to my tasks or my role as a mother, I take full advantage of planning it ahead. So waking up at 5 a.m. for me, I knew that my daughter doesn't wake up until 7. So I have 2 hours to myself, whether it's cleaning, whether it's eating breakfast, or applying the MVP routine to my morning, which my morning routine looks a lot like wake up at 5:30 a.m. And the first thing I do is I look at my daughter and I give thanks to God that she is healthy, that she is alive, and that she is a beautiful soul. I couldn't say she's a happy baby because only she would be able to tell me that. So for me to apply that as her being is not fair for me. Just like I wouldn't do that to, oh, that person is happy. I don't know if that person's happy. I hope the other person is happy. But she is a loving soul. She radiates love, and I think that is something to be extremely grateful for in the morning. Then reach over and look at my cat. I give thanks for my cat because she brings a lot of joy to our home and to our family as well. And then I head over to my phone that is very far from me and far enough to where I can hear the alarm and it's not obnoxious, it's not disturbing. The reason I keep my phone far away from me is because I had a habit of waking up in the middle of the night just to check my notifications as if it was relevant. And now I've prioritized sleep a lot more, where it's just best to keep my phone away so that I'm not distracted. And my phone is programmed with the settings of having the red light on. So that helps a lot with keeping my focus and my thoughts down to a minimum so that I could then move on to prayer. So I guess you could say my acronym is prayer, meditation, and visualization. So PMV. But it still includes the MVP process. So I start with prayer just because I think that is the most important thing to me, is prayer and silence with God, to speak to God, to give thanks to God for everything. And once I'm done with that process, I then move on to either a 10-20 minute guided meditation on YouTube. I can do meditation without background noise. However, it helps me focus a lot more when I have the guided visualizations on YouTube. So I'll do that for about 10-20 minutes and I'll focus on my breathing. I have done a lot of breath workshops where I can now control my breathing and control my thoughts at the same time. And once I'm done with that, I go ahead and visualize my day. How am I going to show up for the day? I always want to show up as kind, as loving, and as a light. But in order to be all of those things, I need to be those to myself first. So understanding that just like anybody who comes my way deserves kindness, love, and light, I need to be kind to myself first thing in the morning. I need to love myself first thing in the morning. I need to be a light first thing for myself in the morning. Do I always show up that way for myself? No, there are some days where one of them is lacking, but I do keep it mindful. So if I do come across someone, it pops up in my head as, okay, this is how I want to show up. This is how I started off my morning and showing up this way. Once I have all of that down, I then grab my Bible and I grab a book based off of personal development or nonfiction. That's just a routine that I acquired from doing 75 Day Hard. And it has stuck with me ever since. I'm so glad it has, because I genuinely have always loved reading. And it wasn't until I graduated high school that I stopped reading. And I always wanted to pick it up, but I needed a reason to, which sounds silly now that I think about it, because you don't need a reason to pick up a book and develop yourself personally. But in my mind at that time, that's the excuse that I gave myself. So I'll pick up my Bible and then I'll pick up my personal development book. I read one page of my Bible every single day. That helps me grow a closer relationship with my faith, with God. And once I'm done with that, I then move on to 10 pages of my personal development book, close that off, and then I start my day and my role as a mom, where it's filling up my daughter's water bottle and little tasks that help prepare her for her morning. I clean up the kitchen. I like to do a lot of things that eliminate stress in the morning. So having a clean kitchen, having a clean restroom, having a clean room prior to my daughter waking up helps me have an easier morning. And then I have a ton of time for showering, makeup, outfit, hair, so that when my daughter does wake up at 7 in the morning, I'm ready to go and focus fully on her. When I circle back to how important MVP is, now I see it as a reward instead of something that I once dreaded because I couldn't be consistent with it. It's very easy to get frustrated with any process if you lack the consistency. And consistency doesn't mean do it every single day the same way. Consistency is doing something over a long period of time, over a stretch of time, many times over and over and over and over. I believe anything in life is about reps. How many reps can you get in so that you could be skillful at something, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish? The real question one should be asking themselves is, how do I want to show up for myself today? What do I deserve? What do I owe to myself? If there's one thing that I could give credit to for feeling the peace that I feel now in my life at the prime of my life, it is definitely correlated to meditation, visualization, and prayer. It's such a profound routine to have. And it doesn't have to be in the morning. It could be whenever you find time to be with yourself. And I know oftentimes we're chasing a busy schedule to not deal with ourselves. And if there's anywhere you could start, I would say there is, are you truly busy or are you making yourself busy to avoid yourself? My name is Emily Rodriguez, and this is my voice, and this is my story. MVP, don't forget.